Hello and welcome back, everybody. Welcome. It's our winners match. The winner of the following match makes their way to our grand final later tonight, which is going to be a best of three, and it's possibly not the winners match that we were expecting. It's Comanche versus Gux&Friends. Obviously, Comanche making a splash in our opening match today by upsetting the Imperial. We were expecting the Imperial just to roll through any opposition today, especially in this group stage, and then maybe they'd have a challenge when we get to the offline finals. However, or the online final, sorry, where we play four teams to find the final two. I thought that was when they would have their real issues. However, they've had issues today. They on Mirage couldn't pull through and lost 16-13. So a close scoreline, which put them into the losers bracket. And in 1 hour's time, we're going to go to that match, which will be Imperial versus Fraternitas. And I don't think that match will be a problem for Imperial. I think that Comanche might be like our solid second best team, but we really don't know because we don't know what Imperial's game was actually like. We don't know if they were really weak or Comanche were really strong. I'm not too sure because I haven't seen a whole lot of Comanche. However, they've done really big work. They just beat our top seed. So that puts a... We're obviously not following the script today, are we? If that's happening, I want to see Imperial come with their best form, with their like 2014 form, and try and make it big in this tournament. Before the grand final later tonight, we are going to have a 1v1 caster challenge. So if you want a chance of winning some skins, type !CME in the chat to participate. You can register on ChallengeME.gg. The first ticket's absolutely free, and then you can buy additional ones for 10 betties each. !CME, and it's totally free. We're going to pick a challenger right before the group finals, and if you beat myself, you can win one of these skins. It's a Stat Track, M4A1S, Decimator Factory New, or Shadow Daggers. That's Forest DD Pat, and they're field tested. And subscribers have a higher chance of winning. So go subscribe, and you will have a higher chance of making it to that ChallengeME 1v1 challenge later today. And go subscribe to our Twitch, and go register on ChallengeME as well, because they help us out. They supply all the servers and the administration for our tournaments. They're great. They've got some really good 1v1 challenges. So if you want to improve at 1v1 Angels and you want it more competitive than just like logging into a server, if you want to track your stats in 1v1 as well, ChallengeME.gg is really genuinely good for that. I know me and a lot of the team actually use ChallengeME for our 1v1s in the office, and it's really fun. I think after we're done tonight, we might play some 1v1s ourselves. So !CME in the chat, and you might get to play against myself. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win tonight. I promised the whole team that I'd win. I didn't quite make it. I didn't quite make the W last night. We got put against somebody from Vexed, so I didn't really stand much of a chance. However, tonight I think that I'm going to win. I'm feeling pretty confident about it. But before all of that, we have got some professional Counter-Strike, some actual Counter-Strike coming at you. And it is going to be Comanche versus Gux&Friends. Two teams who maybe we weren't expecting to be in this match. Obviously, Comanche. It's going to be really interesting to see what their form is, because if they make it through, it means that they get 2-3 hours. They get pretty much 3 hours to sit back, relax, ready and waiting for Imperial in that best of three later tonight, or whoever it is. I say let's not count everybody else out, but whoever it is later tonight, it's likely going to be a rematch of that initial game, and obviously that's going to be really interesting whether Imperials can actually clutch through and make it work in a best of three format when you've got more maps. Personally, that's the match that I want to see. I want to see Mirage played again. I'm interested as to what the series would actually look like between Comanche and Imperial, with them obviously beating them on Mirage earlier. Does that mean Imperial would be scared and more reserved? Obviously, in a best of three also, you get less bans, so it means it Imperial would have to favor banning Mirage over banning one of their more standard bans, because obviously Mirage is one of their top 3 or 4 maps to not ban them out against Comanche earlier. So I think that would be a really interesting matchup. However, we've got a whole variety of matches that we could see, including, and it could happen, the one that we are going to see right now. It could be Comanche and Gux&Friends actually making it to that final. So really anything could happen right now, and that is the match coming up. I think the Comanche definitely have the upper hand. I think they're coming off a really big win. I think that the momentum is going to be in their favor. And I think Gux&Friends, obviously they've also just come out of a win, but it was a win against a lower tier opposition, a team that doesn't matter nearly as much as the Imperial. I think beating maybe the best Balkan team, beating maybe the best Bulgarian team has a lot of bragging rights to it. Imperial are definitely in the top 40 like teams in the world, and Comanche definitely aren't. So beating a team of a higher caliber and with tenure such as Imperial is a really big statement. As you can see, it's more Mirage. We're back into the warm-up, and looks like we might be getting into this one very shortly. So, what do we think about this one in terms of a prediction? I think there's probably going to be a 16-9. I think that, or maybe even closer. I think Gux&Friends actually could have somewhat of a chance in this matchup. I think that when you're talking about teams like Gux&Friends, who are a very scrimmy style of team, you saw them just a second ago on Mirage, Isa plummeting his way down mid and finding his way straight out onto the bomb sites. Lots of connector control, lots of fast, scrimmy play. And I feel like Comanche are going to have more of an issue countering that. We've obviously seen Mirage 3 times today, so everybody loves playing it. I feel like Mirage might not be played in the other 2 best of 1s, but I feel like in the best of 3, it could definitely feature in that series, this map 1 or 2. So a map that we'll probably definitely see more of today, because losing one map against a team is not a reason to permaban it every single time. Of course, it would give Comanche that momentum and that, put the wind in their sails and give them the advantage that they need against a team like the Imperial. But I feel like we've beaten them again once. Could we beat them again? I feel like that pressure really gets to your head when you're a lower caliber team. Beating a team twice in a row is a different beast to just beating them the once. We're live in warm-up, so the knife round is going to be going live very shortly. But for the match in our immediate future, the one immediately coming up, I feel like Comanche might have this one in the bag. But we just saw a very strong Mirage from both of these teams. And since Gux&Friends didn't play against a necessarily high level of opposition, it means that we don't have a good benchmark of what their skill level actually is on this map. We don't know if they're really strong against better opposition or they just rolled them because they're better players. We don't know how they actually stand and fare on this map or even as a team at all, because I think it's fair to say that Fraternitas are by far and away the worst team out of the 4 that we've got in Group B, and out of everybody else we might actually have some competition. Already an upset coming through. I didn't expect to see any upsets today, and if the upsets did come in, I expected them to be in the lower half. I expected Imperial just to blast their way through and easily make their way at least to the best of 3 final, and then maybe if they lose a map there, then it's not too much of an upset. But getting knocked into the lower bracket this early in the day means that they have to play an extra match. Means that they have to play an extra map, more importantly, yeah. So fatigue will definitely set in when you're playing the best of 3 later today. So they could play worse. It could mean that they're a lot warmer, though, and a lot stronger when they, like just in terms of aiming. However, somebody from the lower bracket has to play that consolidation final, in which case, well, in Comanche just goes through straight to the best of 3. So Imperial has to play two more maps, and Comanche can sit back It's their break. They can sit back. They can watch what Imperial are doing. And let's get straight back into this one. And as I was saying, that can definitely be... It's really big to have that... that short amount of time just to research your opponents, to maybe even plan a couple of key strats to counter. So let's say that we see Imperial play on Inferno, for instance, and they spot out something, a gap in their defense. I think that that could definitely be something that Comanche just has one or two easy strats to take care of that sort of a play. Comanche is going to lose this knife round though. So Gux&Friends gets the side that they want, but it's actually not set in stone what this side might be. They could actually just decide to stay on the T side and think that they're going to roll them over. They just had a perfect T half, and I feel like Gux&Friends, they probably prefer this T side. I feel like both of these teams are like fairly explosive, but Gux&Friends more so. I know, I think that this is the most interesting match we'll probably have today, if I'm perfectly honest. And remember that the only way that we'll see a rematch of this match is if the loser of this match wins their consolidation final, which is pretty unlikely. I think that the loser of this match will more than likely lose a consolidation final as well. So this is a really big match for both these teams, because the winner, they get straight through to the grand final. They get straight through to that best of three, and they get to relax, practice, strat for that. However, if you lose this match, then you've got an even tougher match in the consolidation final. It's going to be likely Imperial. So if Imperial have any step of getting, if they've got any way of getting through to that grand final later today, they've got to win their game against Fraternitas next, and then they've got to win a consolidation final against one of these two teams, the loser of these two teams, and then they've got to play a best of three against the winner of these two teams. So they've got to win multiple maps in a row. They've got to be 3 maps in a row to actually be in the driver's seat of this group. Losing Mirage earlier, definitely a big stumbling block for them. Means that they have to play another map. Means that they don't get as much time to relax. A team like them, who really don't want to be playing against teams who are like ranked 200, that could definitely phase them, and they could just go into the game thinking, oh no, let's just do it, and then they could end up 7-0 down, and then... I know that we're theory crafting a lot here, but it could definitely happen. Gux&Friends, straight into the pistol round. It's a pretty standard T round set up with 4 sets of Kevlar, the smoke as well. This smoke is going towards the B site, and it's probably going to cut off the main part of the site to cut off Comanche's visual. And you see, this is the smoke that they just used in the pistol round just 20 minutes ago. Max finds the opening headshot. It is traded back through first by Robin, but this bomb down is a really big problem for Comanche. In a 4v4, how are they going to get back into this bomb site? Yes, they've got a kit on Jane, but this is going to be a really difficult pursuit back in to defuse this bomb. And Jane, he's already found one. Severin as well, back with 2, and Woxic, he's got to hit some headshots now, and he does. Severin goes down, Jane with a kit. He's dropped the smoke as well. He's just going to defuse in the smoke. No, he actually peeks straight off it, hits the headshot regardless. And Comanche with the first round, not taking any risks, wanting to just go for those frags, and 1-0's the scoreline. Gux&Friends, I feel like they're the sort of team who might get shaken slightly by losing a pistol round. They want these solid starts. And Comanche, not going to give it to them. 3 Phalanxes, a UMP, this farm potential on an MP9 and a UMP. Likely Comanche just going to crush and cream through these unarmored opponents. It's Woxic and Max without armor. As soon as they walk into these SMGs, going to be a hard time to get through onto one of these bomb sites. And Comanche, Yeah, they're backed up by the Famises as well. One thing that's actually kind of worrying on Comanche's side is they lost a lot of players in the previous round. They lost 4 players, which means that they couldn't invest into just head armor or no body armor at all, which means that they've spent a lot more, means that they don't have the M4s. They have to invest into these M4s at some point. Their economy isn't going to be absolutely steamrolling, and definitely not. Isa takes the first kill as well. They've invested into a couple of AKs. This is a really weird scrimmy buy from Gux. I actually missed. Percy finds one as well. There's a Tech 9 in mid, close range, utilizing it to perfection. And against these Famises, Comanche definitely has a worse buy in this situation. The MP9 up close and personal, does the damage, walks it, drops Pasha. And James, the last man left with the UMP, finds one. It's a headshot, $600 in his pocket, but gets blasted straight back out the server by Juan dig, one shot, one kill. One player, one kill. Gux&Friends with 1 round. Against Comanche's one as well, 1-1. As this is a real change of pace. Gux, this is really what you expect from a team like this, to just go for those ball-to-the-wall play. Balls-to-the-wall play. And now they find themselves in a much easier round against just pistols. Isa able to peek out and just hit that headshot, nails it, 7 drops. And what's it probably going to be the next to take a frag as Trav is playing in this window area, needs to try and catch somebody off guard. And he can boost back into ladder room and take short control as well. They might not even know that he's playing this angle, and he jumps straight into the waiting arms of Max, who hits a crucial clutch headshot, followed up with the second as well. Pasha drops. And Comanche now with just USPs not doing any damage. And nobody's low on Gux, so it's not like anybody's one shot, one kill. Isa finishes off the round. Gux&Friends looking strong in this winners match to possibly take some sort of a lead. But Comanche, back in this quickly, have actually invested into the UMP. There are 2 Famises as well. It's not a perfect buy. They've got no Molotovs to hold Gux out of this site. And this site specifically is going to be the B. They're looking, oh yeah, this is just going to be a straight-on rush. This is going to be the screamy play that we've been talking about all game. Comanche, how are they going to hold this one? They've got nobody pincered on B, so this is likely going to be a free bomb plant for the Gux side. And Comanche, this is so difficult. They could even just go for a save here. I don't think that they stand any chance. Without getting an entry kill very early on, I don't think that they've got any chance of making their way back into this bomb site. Gux have an ironclad hold right now, and with the AK-47s, Woxit just picks one up through the smoke. Disgusting. Pasha drops. Those tracers spotted. And Comanche, what can you do? There are no M4A1Ss as well, so they can't go for that return fire without being seen. Trev has this angle on lockdown, and Comanche, it's their job to just do the damage and make sure that Gux don't survive this round with 4 or 5 players. Instead, it's going to be a maximum of 3 as Gux decide, we can't go for this. We can't actually take these rifles out of the hands of the Comanche side. So, 3-1 as Comanche. They have plenty of nades. They've got the UMPs as well. There's a FAMAS, so it's an okay buy since they saved so many weapons. 4, in fact, from the previous round. However, Gux&Friends, they're hot on their heels. Should be a tight round if the utility has anything to say about it, because Gux barely has anything. They've got 2 Molotovs, and it's 5 players, but they've already taken connector control, and they might be straight onto this A site with Comanche even having a say in the matter. Trev needs to hit a shot, but he hears the ladder. He does hit it. Max whiffs hugely. Percy finds 2 on A, and here's the A bomb site completely under wraps. Robin needs to come back with more than just that one, though, and a 2-on-3 needs to hit these shots, and he is. There's second. But with the Molotov drop, needs to cross, and Isa wasn't there in time to find it. James Orps from across the map, and it's only Isa left playing this 1v2. He's got to cut off, find 2 1v1s, and he isn't going to do it. Robin with a triple kill. Perfect at that. 2 to 3, and even knife in the body. BM play there from the Russian, the Ruski, the Suka player. The Suka player. Comanche. 2 on 3. As Gux&Friends, they can go for another buy. They've been performing pretty admirably in the last couple of rounds. Isa finds a nice headshot straight through that smoke as well. Robin drops, and he's been a clutch, crucial player for the Comanche side. He's been finding kills left, right, and center. Woxic drops another one as well. These are kills all across the map for Gux right now, as they seem to be really wanting to break this Comanche buy. As you see, they've got barely any money. This is going to be a solid eco, maybe a double eco from the C2 side if they end up losing this one. And Gux, a 5v2, says that they can. The bomb absolutely locked onto B, and saving the AWP, saving the M4. That's the name of the game right now, is Comanche back off but Gux. Look at them, they're hot on their heels. Rotating all the way through back to T-spawn. They're so fast on the hunt for these 2 rifles, especially that AWP. They don't want James having an AWP into the 7th round. They want to get it out of his hands right now. This kill bonus is worth nothing, and they can invest absolutely everything into trying to eliminate Jane, and more importantly, the AWP, but the long-range engagement isn't going to favour them. Joan drops, but Max finds the one. Almost a second. Severin on 6 HP. Needs to get out of there. Woxic rushing him down, but just picks up the AWP, falls back as well. 2 AWPs saved. 1 for each team, and Comanche. What can they build around this? Can they build a buy around this 1 AWP? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be pistols. Maybe the UMP could have been bought. That was a possibility. You can buy a UMP in every single round if you want to. It's only $2,200 for a UMP and armor. That's permitting if you want to buy it without any nades. Robin almost taking a meaty shot in the face, but it's USP. Let's keep it. Throw a couple of pop shots down. Gux smokes the whole of short. Juan takes one in the leg. And Pasha, this angle hasn't been checked just yet. Lets one go past, but nah, Juan's going to hit it with very low HP. Him staying alive was a crucial factor, as Jamie does find another one as well. This AWP, if it finds another kill, this would be very cost effective. They might even be able to make their way back onto this bomb site. Gux&Friends cannot peek this right now. They know that their only threat is a scoped rifle. Now an AK-47 picked up onto the 7 as well. And Gux&Friends, they've got this one on lockdown. Not getting over aggressive. Not peeking it too aggressively. Here come the Molotovs as well to lock Comanche out of that bomb site. It's just the setup for exits. Trying to keep these 2 weapons, the AWP and the AK-47, alive. Especially that AWP. You can win a round just with the 1 scope rifle if you're good with it. And James definitely had a chance of doing it. He legged one, hit the shot on the second as well. Max dropped to it, so he did do a lot of damage. Unlucky that he didn't take 2, because then they could have definitely overwhelmed that B side defense and found maybe a surprise round out of that one. However, they are just going to buy and invest all around this double rifle save. Gux&Friends playing a slower style. Looks like they're probably going to explode onto mid any second now with the slower pit defense. Gux&Friends holding 3 players over towards mid as well. This is to punish any Comanche mid aggression that they saw that they loved to go for earlier. Remember that Pasha did it a couple of times. And against Imperial it did actually work. Imperial got caught out a few times, and James misses that shot by an inch, by a whisker. And he's going to fall back to try and find another one. Isa does drop, but it is traded out, and Robin loses life as well. And Gux&Friends, they found so many. Oh, travel! Both missed their shots, but Woxic hits a clutch. 180 no scope. And he's got this angle on lockdown as well. Comanche surely can't make their way back into this site. James finds one more. Is the best form of defense is attack sometimes. Keeping this AWP alive is again the primary objective. As this is a long distance engagement. Oh, does spot out the leg, but on 40 HP, can't go for any additional peeks. Is Juan? Yeah, he's right on the chase. Chase is on, as Bradley Walsh would say. Gux&Friends do go for these pre-fires into apps. They do want to take the AWP out of James' hands, but he's around the corner. Should be easy enough, and they do save these 2 rifles yet again. But it seems to be the same old game from Comanche, as they take 1 frag, they then lose a couple of these entries against Gux&Friends, and then it's all about the it's all about these rotations. It's all about saving as many weapons as they can. And Gux&Friends, that's not always what you want to be doing. Jay misses a crucial shot yet again. Hits the leg, so damage has been done. However, Gux&Friends are straight onto this B site. It's got to be Trevor, this AWP to support, to do the damage. Those Molotovs are crucial to do the damage initially, but Jane, Pasha as well, everybody chipping in. Comanche might be able to claw another round here, but Woxic does peek one back on through, and he spots a second and hits the shot anyway. Jane loses his life, and this 1v2 is doable now. Trev, is he going to go for this jump shot? This is ballsy from him. Looking for the head glitch angle. And Woxic, he's looking to just annihilate every peak. But Trev isn't going to give him anything to work with. Woxic throws a smoke down. And Trev even hears the scope, so he knows that he's playing nice and close to this smoke grenade. Gux&Friends with all the information. They even hear him backing off. So Woxic is telegraphing what he's doing, but this is for good reason. He wants him to think that he's going underpass so he can actually make the push over towards apps. And he might have even spotted the knee out there. So with one player watching the left angle, he's actually going to peek towards the right and find the headshot as well. Wasn't checking the bottom angle. Severin finds a shot, saves the AWP as well. Close distance engagement, always favouring the AK-47. And 3-6. It's Comanche. Yeah, they do have the 1 AWP, not the second. They sometimes do go for this double AWP setup. We saw it earlier and we haven't seen it again since. It's just been Jane playing the scoped rifle. James hits that nice shot, and if you play with the AWP over towards mid, you know that that's not an easy shot to hit. That is maybe one of the hardest shots to hit in the whole of Mirage. The AK-47 always has your number. They can see your head, you can't see. You've got much less vision from the higher angle, and with an AWP, it's so difficult. Robin hits a second as well, so Comanche with a 2-man advantage, taking the spray through, and Isa stuck in a difficult position. Could take bullets in the chest thick and fast, but with Gux&Friends taking connector control, this is a fan favourite and a favourite of theirs as well to go for a tactic like this. And Comanche actually could catch them off guard if they don't make the steps. But Pasha going to try and neutralise this connector threat, takes one but not the second. Isa, oh, that was beautiful. The second headshot, capitalising on Robin's mistakes, and this A site might be all said and done. As Isa, he just picked up a 3rd kill. What a beast! This guy's a legend. 3 in a row. Puts Gux in contention of winning this round, but it's got to be the ace to take it home. And he's only got 15 seconds, and both of these Comanche players are playing at opposite ends of the map. This is almost an impossible clutch for Isa in this position. Comanche have this one on lockdown, and they're not going to find Isa after the rounds ended, even though they seem to know that he was playing in jungle. But Gux&Friends 6-4, and we said that this one was probably going to be one of the more interesting games of the day. I would actually think that this is like if we didn't have to get rid of Imperial to do so, I think that this would probably be the best quality, best of 3 for the final. I think that you could definitely see a 3-mapper between these two teams. However, I think that I don't think that there's much opportunity for that to happen. Jay with another quick AWP shot. He's great at finding these openings. Maybe the Dragon Law giving him power. Max going to headshot as well. So Comanche has had a 2-man advantage at the start of 2 rounds in a row now. This is how they want to get back into this game, is taking these initial engagements, winning them, and then just falling back and playing a more passive style of CS and hoping that ISO doesn't rip your brain out. He's been showing us time and time again he's been able to do. Takes a couple of shots through this smoke as well. Perfectly timed spray down, but Trev is right here. Isa doesn't actually take that headshot, but he does find one of his own. As Woxic with the 1D needs to find some shots here. We know that he's capable of it. That's what we're talking about. Beautiful. Isa as well. Headshots galore. Looks for one more, and it's just Isa. And if there's a man that you want in this situation, it's him. But it's not going to be. Not meant to be. As Comanche, 36 HP left, stays in this one. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Comanche, they're brute forcing their way back into this map, back into this series, back into this best of 1 in this winners match here. However, they've still got big opposition from Gux&Friends. One of the closer matches of today, but Woxic, I don't know what vision he had. I didn't have much myself, but does find that aggressive pick. And again, it's Comanche coming up trumps early on in these rounds. And Gux&Friends, yeah, they're playing a more passive style, and they're actually getting punished for it. I'd like to see them go for one of these signature rushes, possibly onto B. However, it's more difficult now because Comanche have the Molotovs, they have the nades. You could be walking right into the blender by going for a really aggressive push. You see Comanche, they're not actually scared to go for these aggressive plays. Severin pushing forth. Oh, and he spotted the shadow as well. There comes the peak. There goes the bomb. And Comanche has a really big advantage. Smoke placed as well. But he's got to watch his back. He's got no cover. And they're both coming from behind. He's got to hit this shot, but it's not going to happen. Isa, frag movie star, finding another frag. And he's got 3 more to find. So if there's ever a time to pull out a godlike clutch, it's right now, but I don't think so. I think Comanche has a perfect crossfire. They do miss one of these shots, and James has to hit 1 bullet with the USP, and Isa, he's perfect at hitting those headshots, so it's not a done deal just yet, but Robin seals it. 6-6, even Stevens. Comanche forcing their way back into this map. They looked very behind earlier. Gux just tore through them like a knife through butter. I was going to say a knife through fish. I was like, yeah. Again, guys, if you want to ask any questions in chat, we got 1,500 people here, so surely there have got to be a couple of questions out there. If you want to ask me a question, go ahead, do it in chat. Christ. I'm just reading what somebody just put in the chat. Awful. 6-6. And it's just Deagles for Gux&Friends. It's going to be a difficult round to win, but if there's a team that's going to win a Deagle round, it's surely going to be them. They've got such high individual skill, and Juan showing us why he has his name with a 1 Deag. Percy does drop, and this, or going for the peak Shin. Lucky to maybe even find that one. Very precise. And Comanche, they're getting aggressive onto mid as well. And there's the bomb dropped. Every single advantage you could ever dream of. The 2-man advantage, but Max does have the positional advantage. But James actually has spotted him out with the AWPs in the prime position to punish this one. Just look away, but straight back in time. Comanche, they must have taken like 6 or 7 in a row, right? 5 in a row. So they were 6-2 down. And now they were level pegging. And now in the lead by a round. Big play by them. Comanche 7-6 up. And this might be the final proper buy round of the half with Comanche switching it up again. It's a double AWP setup this time. And we've not actually seen this at all, this map from them. So it's going to be interesting to see if they actually, if Trevor actually has it. If he's going to be able to hit a couple of AWP shots. He's got to be feeling it though. If he's switching away from what they've been doing, what's been working. But often you see teams, when they switch to a double AWP setup, it often doesn't work out because it's just a different style, a different flow, a different rhythm. But Trev does find that initial pick, which is what Comanche have been banking on. 2 and 3 as Pash finds one more, but peeks right into the scope of Woxic. Percy gets caught out as well, and it's just Woxic left. They know that he's playing towards that. They know that he's even got the bomb. So Woxic's going to have to hit some gorgeous shots with this AWP, and I don't think it's going to happen. He's got the Glock as well, so probably a little scared to get that one out. And Pasha's in a perfect position to punish this. You can hear him stomping around like an elephant on this side. There goes the frag, a headshot to finish it off, and Comanche 6 in a row, and Gux&Friends taking a pause, but it might be a tad too late this round. Yeah, I think this is a technical, as Xuan is going to reconnect. Yeah, some sound issues, they say, in the chat, but that's fine. I'm sure it's not going to be too long. Interesting stuff, though. Comanche were looking so weak. They were looking pretty battered at the start of this half, but playing against scrimmy teams like Gux&Friends, all you have to do is take the momentum, take the wind out of their sails, let the ship sink, and then a scrimmy team like that will find it very hard to get back in the game. When their stars aren't fragging, aren't finding the headshots, it can be really hard for a team like this to find their form once again. And Comanche, they're a team who are, when they're down, they're never out. And you saw it earlier, 6-2 is often a scoreline where teams start to panic, start to choke. However, they just got their footing. They won one of these rounds. They won a, it wasn't an eco, it was just a full buy. So they got the money, they got the momentum back in their favor, and they've just been winning round after round after round 6 times over. Gux&Friends now. One last chance to get onto 7 rounds. They've already lost this half, like at least one, but it's going to be a 3-round gap if Comanche can take this one home. And at halftime, that's definitely not what you want to be seeing. Trev gets caught out on short. This is a much faster push. This is what I want to see from Gux. Have a Pash. He's caught in this smoke, getting flashed out. Pistol through, but Juan finds him. And Gux have this site on lockdown. This could be the 7th round on the board, but Robin drops the bomb carrier, so this C4 isn't going to be planted for some time as Percy does find it back through. Woxic finds another one. 2 on 4. Comanche has to clutch this one back, and this is very much like the start of this half. This is what we were seeing earlier from Comanche. We saw them time and time again get found in these 4v2 situations, and it's good that the half ends now, whilst Gux doesn't have this really big level of momentum. Shame. That was a nut shot. Wow. I just want to remind everybody that you can use command !CME in chat. That's CME, and that will enter you in the caster challenge later today. You might play a 1v1. It gives you a chance, a ticket to play a 1v1 against myself. And if you win it, you win a knife or a skin. They're worth about $100 and $70 respectively. You can choose. So !CME, and you'll be entered in that giveaway. And it's 10 betties for any additional entry. And subscribers also have an extra chance of winning. So go subscribe, go enter !CME, nice and easy. But we're back live in this one, and this is as close as it can get. As Gux finally find their 7th round, thanks to fast play. And Comanche, just on Glocks, all on Kevlar. No utility. A very slow style. Not a single shot has been fired this round. Very quiet for CSGO. The ambience is definitely not what we used to expect. James, yeah, he snuck his way onto short. Here come the shots, and he does find it onto Percy. Backs off as well, and a follow-up headshot. The second goes down. It's Watts, it drops. And Comanche, oh, they've just blasted their way onto A, onto B. They have all the map to themselves. And Trev has this angle on lockdown as well. Juan peeks one through, but it's a 4v2, and they've got almost no chance now on 1v5. It's going to have to be the ace clutch, and it's not going to happen. Robin's on point, hits the headshot, Glocks everywhere, right in your face. And Comanche 9-7. Up now, and this gives them a nice lead. It means that they're likely going to be 11-7 up, and then it's all about controlling the economy, winning 1 or 2 more buy rounds, not allowing Gux to get their economy rolling, and then you've won. But this is quite a long way away. There's still margin for error. Both these teams right now. Gux with 5 pistols. They've semi-forced bought back into this one. Just Juan, who doesn't want to invest thanks to wanting that AWP. And although we don't see them run an AWP all of the time, on the CT side, it's almost necessary. It's almost vital on Cash. In Juan's position, he's been compromised as well. Trev doesn't take a bullet in the face, instead deals one. 1-4. This Robin drops ISO as well, so 10-7. As Comanche are looking pretty damn strong. Just pistols again for Gux&Friends. They want a full buy, which a scrimmy team like this, you'd often see them go for the pistols, go for a 5-7 in armor, but they know how important this match is. They know if they win this match, they don't have to play another one. They get straight through to the grand final. They get prize money guaranteed. And, oh, Woxic hits a headshot with just a pistol, so already the man advantage, but they're playing against AK-47s and a fully equipped Comanche side. And this is dangerous at the best of times, so against just pistols, it should be Comanche's, on paper, round. However, Percy has the Mac 10 in his hand, but these AK-47s, they're reigning supreme, drops the bomb, and Severin's pretty low as well, but it's just Max left, just the one P250 on the side of Gux&Friends, and it's probably going to be eliminated by this Deagle. It is. Robin finishes him off. 11-7, and this is this nice 4-round buffer that we were talking about earlier, where Gux&Friends really have to win a round right now. They need to win 2 or 3 rounds, in my opinion. They've got to get back in this game and get to double digits before Comanche takes any more rounds to be in any, by any stretch, a lead. The AWP on Woxic definitely could be a difference maker, but it's glass cannon. He hasn't got armor. One bullet knocks his aim completely off target, and then it's super hard to hit a shot. But the AWP, it doesn't matter as much because you're likely going to be firing that first bullet off before the T-can. However, somebody catches you off guard, hits one bullet, then you fire a shot, could be a stray shot, and could definitely miss. Comanche though, 4 versus 5, lose the first man. Pasha drops early. And Comanche need to rebuild around this. 4 men over towards the A site. They've taken a lot of map control, so they definitely could move in towards connector. However, Gux&Friends should be able to read this. Read it. They haven't got connector control right now, and Comanche could definitely utilize this. They like abusing this. And Woxic, he's holding down this angle with the warp and gets found out. Trev finds him, smokes his way through into jungle, and he's... Oh, spots like Percy, but yeah, murder holes. It's called murder hole for a reason, mate. You're going to get murdered. Graham finds one headshot, and it's all Comanche's victory. 12-7, and this is almost going to be 13-7 now. It's Gux&Friends. They've got barely any weaponry. They'll probably invest into a couple of pistols, maybe a few pieces of armor, but what is going wrong for Gux&Friends right now? Obviously, Max isn't really fragging, 9 kills, but Percy, I feel like he's the main difference maker between the two teams. He on 4 kills, it's just not good enough. And remember, last map, they relied on ISA tons. He's on 16 and 14, so still a great scoreline. Along with Woxic, who's posting similar scores. However, Comanche, you've got James with the AWP of his own, 23 and 8. Now, this is just too monstrous to count a team like Comanche out, and they could find themselves in our grand final later tonight. Right after our 1v1 caster challenge, by the way, !CME in the chat to get a free entry towards that raffle. !CME if you want free shit. 12-7 is our scoreline though, and Gux&Friends probably going to be 6 down after this one. They've got the pistols. They've got a couple of sets of Kevlar. Everyone apart from Percy, in fact. Seven looks for this shot, and Percy, he's being tagged down. Here comes a nade as well. This should be it. No, Percy actually survives that one. Doesn't actually stretch far enough. But the follow-up Molotov also doesn't reach him. So Comanche keep the one-man lead, but it's not quite a 2-1. We are back watching some Counter-Strike. So I assumed that this was live, and that was a beautiful shot by James. If we are, and that's him. That's him an AWP in his hands. So ISA with just the UMP left. I don't think he's going to be able to get back into this game. I don't think he's going to be able to get back into this round at all. And Comanche, they are steamrolling ahead. We said just a few moments ago that we were really expecting Gux&Friends to actually come back in and wrap some rounds together with a couple of those eco wins and a couple of those follow-up round wins. However, it's going to be 6 match points for Team Comanche. And this game might be pretty much over at this point, as 6 remaining. And so ISA being the last player alive, obviously saving through that UMP. And this could be the final round of the match. Very, very likely, as Gux&Friends barely have any weaponry at all to clutch this one back. Comanche with the M4, the 3 AK-47s as an AWP, and if we have a look at their money, they've got plenty of money as well. It's tons and tons of other advantages for Comanche, regardless of whether they win it or whether they lose it. They're going to have buys into the follow-up rounds. Juan picking up the first one, but it's traded straight back out by a fast, swift headshot by Pashno. Woxic moving over towards the connector area, needs to hit some shots over towards short, but Comanche straight out onto this B site. And Max, his position has actually been compromised. They know exactly where he is. He's only on 13 HP, and there's a nade to finish him off. Gux, only 2 players stand between them and the lower bracket final in just a few moments. Comanche find one more, and it's just Woxic left. 1 versus 2. And Comanche, yeah, they're about to finish him off. Trev ends this game in style, 16-9 to scoreline. And Comanche, they take it home. So, that means that Comanche are going to be in our grand final. We will see them in a best of 3 later tonight, so woo! That's all the Russian fans dealt with and happy. But just before I start waffling, !CME in chat right now. And this is for the 1v1 caster challenge later today. If you want a chance of winning 2 of our skins, we've got a knife giveaway. Here it is on your screen now, a knife giveaway, or the Emperor A1S. So !CME, it's absolutely free. And you can buy additional tickets for 10 betties each, which is our free currency. If you subscribe to our channel, you get a better chance of playing the 1v1 on stream later today. And we're going to be doing the 1v1 caster challenge every single day this week. And as I said, if you beat me, you win one of these 2 skins. So !CME, it's absolutely free. Despite this, we have got another game of Counter-Strike coming up very shortly. It's Imperial versus Fraternitas. So whilst we get them in the game, we're going to go to a short commercial break. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Place your bets. Sad.
Jamie, take out the trash!
I can't hear you over the sound cancelling on my Sennheiser GSP 350 headset.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say